Hey guys, how's it going? Okay, so today I thought I would show you how I shoot my videos, a behind the scenes if you will. Now before I show you anything, I just want to let you know that I shoot these videos on a very tight budget, and the methods that I use are just things that I've picked up over time. Like I have no formal education in video editing or audio recording or anything like that. It's mainly just things that I've picked up, mainly through trial and error. So yeah, with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so here we go. This is where the magic happens, you could say. So the pedal board I've got going on at the moment is just basically the DS2 and the small clone. They're the two pedals that I kind of use the most at the moment. The amplifier that I use is a Blackstar ID15 TVP, an absolutely wicked amplifier. I can't fault it at all, to be honest. I use it in all of my videos, so if you like the guitar sounds that I get, then you know that's where they're coming from basically. A tiny little combo amplifier, but it's got great effects built into it, and it sounds pretty damn good as well. Random pictures on the wall, got a couple of guitars on the wall as well. Jimmy as well, absolutely awesome. I actually saw that picture on Joe Rogan's podcasts, and I thought it was absolutely wicked, so I had to find it on the internet and get it for myself. His ones are a hell of a lot bigger, but you know, I thought it was cool, so yeah. There's a random Les Paul sitting on a chair for some reason. This is where I normally have my tripods when I'm filming, but obviously I'm holding my camera at the moment, and my other camera is there. The computer that I use is, it's not the best computer in the world, to be honest, but you know, it serves my purposes, so that's all I can really say about that. There's my studio light, which is super bright, ridiculously bright. And yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. It's, you know, there's not really much going on in here. It's just basically CDs, Kurt Cobain, my old childhood Game Boy, and a bunch of DVDs that I never watch. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I basically film in the dining room that I've commandeered. Basically, this is my room now. So yeah, awesome. Right, so usually if I get a request for a song, I tend to try and do that as soon as I possibly can, especially if I really like the song as well. That does really help. Okay. And what I basically do is just listen to the song as much as I possibly can. Basically just to analyse it and try and get my head around, you know, the changes and the timing and stuff like that. And then, you know, I just put the song on and just try and play along to it really. You know, try and hear the chords and everything, and, you know, try and get the knack for it. And that's really good for your, like, sort of ear training as well. Just, you know, trying to kind of, like, just hear the song and try to play it. I would definitely recommend trying it. Even if you don't, you know, get very far, it's just great to try and do that. And, you know, once I feel like I'm getting the hang of it kind of thing, I move on to watching live performances just to basically see all the little bits and bobs to see if I'm playing it right or, you know, whatever.
2,000 years later.
The only potential problem with that is, a lot of the times, especially with Nirvana, they played their songs half a step down to how they actually recorded them, and I'm guessing that's just so Kurt could kind of like save his voice, I guess, you know, because taking it half a step down just, you know, it creates that little bit less sort of strain on his voice, I guess. So in that case, I will basically just grab my blue Strat because I tend to keep that half a step down anyway. So yeah, that's helpful. And after a fair bit of practice, it's normally getting towards the end of the week, and I always film my videos on a Friday, so by the time Friday comes around, I've sort of got my head around it really. You know, I've usually got the hang of it. So yeah, that's when we begin filming. First of all, I'll tell you what I use to shoot my videos, shall I? So the cameras that I use are a Canon 200D and a Canon 500D. These are two absolutely amazing cameras. The 500D is a fair bit older than the 200D, but they're both great for filming video, and the 200D actually has a screen that you can flip around so you can look at yourself while you're filming. Hello! For the guitar audio, I use a Blue Snowball condenser microphone. Now I realise that this is not really suitable for recording guitar audio, but you know, it's usually used by like podcaster type people and online gamers and stuff like that. You know, people that post gaming videos. But the results that I've got from you know, using that to record my guitar have been pretty good and you know, suitable enough for my needs anyway. So I can't really complain. Plus, it's the only decent microphone that I've got, so I've got to use it. And yeah, that plugs straight into my laptop via a USB cable, which again is not ideal, but you know, it serves its purpose, I suppose. And I record the audio using Audacity, which is 100% free to download off the internet. You don't have to pay for it at all. It's a great little bit of software as well. It's really simple to use, and you know, the audio comes out okay, so can't complain about it. It's got built-in effects and stuff as well, which I don't really use, to be honest, but yeah, you know, plenty of options if you want to do that kind of thing, I guess. I also use a studio style light as well. Again, it was only a cheap one off of Amazon, but you know, it casts quite nice lighting, so I can't really complain about it. It's everything I need, plus I can tuck it behind the door and it doesn't take up any space, so that's handy, keeps the wife happy. And the video editing software that I use is Sony Vegas Pro. It's a great program for like editing your videos and stuff like that, and it's got loads of effects built into it, and I'm sure there's plugins and stuff you can download as well if you want some more, so yeah, it's just a great program. Record. 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 Okay, so once I've got everything set up, before I start playing, what I like to do is clap. The reason I do that is because I'm insane. No, the reason I do that is because when I get to the editing process, if I have a big peak at the beginning of the audio tracks, it's easier to align everything in the editing software. You know, it's really helpful in that respect. And what I tend to do is, because I do a few takes, whenever I do a cover I'll do 2 or 3 takes maybe, and what I'll do is, for the first one I'll clap once, for the second one I'll clap twice, and for the third one I'll clap 3 times, and that's basically just to like make the editing process a lot easier, so I can line up all 3 of the covers all together, and yeah, I just know which one's 1, 2 and 3 then. So after the most fun part of the process comes the most tedious part, and that is typing out the bloody tabs. It's a bit laborious and it's a pain in the arse, to be honest, but I do like to put the tabs underneath while I'm playing just to help people out. I realise I don't always do them perfectly, but you know, I do my best as much as my patience will allow me. So yeah, I just type them out in Notepad and then use like the snipping tool to turn them into individual JPEG files and then just drop them into the video editing software. And then after that, I just take a screenshot of the actual like the video itself, turn that into a JPEG and then put that into Photoshop and then turn that into the thumbnail. You know, I just like type out you know, the artist and the name of the song, and then I'll get a picture of like the artist and just sort of cut them out and just drop them in the corner. just to make it a bit more of an interesting thumbnail, I guess. And that's pretty much it, man. That's like the whole process. So yeah. So that's my whole process. Like I said at the beginning, I do this on basically a shoestring budget. So, you know, I don't use like professional software or anything like that. I just sort of use what I could get my hands on basically, or what I could afford at the time. I'm not like a computer whiz or anything, so I'm probably doing this whole process, you know, arse about face kind of thing. But it's the way that I've found that works, and you know, my workflow has become quite streamlined now because I know what I'm doing kind of thing. I mean, I learned how to use most of the software years ago, to be honest, but you know, my process is quite streamlined and you know, it works for me, so that's all I can really ask. You know, like I said, I'm not like a amazing computer technician or anything. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. I just do this as a hobby and it's something I really enjoy. So hopefully this has been insightful to you anyway. Thank you for watching. I realise it's, you know, you're not really going to take much away from this. I'm not showing you how to play anything or anything like that, but yeah, it's a bit of an insight into how I shoot my videos. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it. Peace. One more thing before I go, just one more thing. As you may or may not be aware, a couple of years ago I filmed a video of me talking about Final Fantasy VII, my favourite game from when I was a kid. If you like this game as much as I do, then I'm sure you're aware that there is supposed to be a remake of it coming out at some point in the near future. In 2015, Square Enix released a teaser trailer of footage of how the remake was getting on. And yeah, then for like 3 or 4 years we literally heard nothing. There were reports of like third-party developers being involved and stuff like that, but I don't think Square Enix were happy with what they were doing. So yeah, they sort of scrapped it, I think, and then started again from scratch. Maybe not from scratch, but definitely from like, you know, they took a big step back kind of thing. And then yeah, we didn't hear anything for ages and ages. And then literally about 3 weeks ago, they released a proper trailer of it, literally like, you know, a minute long, showing proper gameplay, showing, you know, cutscenes and stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think it looks fucking amazing. It looks like so much of an improvement on what they had previously shown in 2015, like just graphically and like creatively. It looks so much better, and you know, the voices, like the voice acting seems really good as well.
What's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Here, this is for you.
A flower?
Which I'm quite happy about. I mean, some people have beef with the way Barrett sounds in it, but to be honest, you know, that's his character, so, you know, I don't understand what the problem is there. Basically, it's a massive improvement on the 2015 trailer, and, you know, obviously it's light years ahead of, like, you know, the 90s version of the game, the original. So, yeah, I mean, you know, in the original, the characters sort of look like Lego kind of thing. You know, polygons in, like, sort of a 32-bit environment, I guess. But obviously now, you know, I think they're using the Unreal Engine 4, so it's like, you know, top-notch kind of thing, like super realistic as opposed to super deformed. And yeah, man, it just looks amazing, and I can't wait for it. I honestly can't wait. It looks bloody amazing. You know, some people online are being a bit negative about it, you know, pointing out discrepancies here and there. But overall, I think it's been pretty well received. I mean, I've watched a hell of a lot of videos about it. Literally, loads. Some of them go on for more than an hour, you know, it's like literally people taking apart every frame and just sort of like talking about it kind of thing, which might be a little bit sad, but that makes me even sadder for actually watching it, so whatever. It's just a game that I absolutely loved as a kid, and you know, I was so excited about it coming out. So I'm kind of like rekindling that because I'm watching a lot of videos about it and I'm reading a lot about it. So yeah, it's just a total throwback to the 90s for me, but bringing it up to date in like, you know, a modern fashion, I guess. I mean, the amount of times I've bloody bought this game is ridiculous. I bought it back in 1997. I lost my original copy, so I ended up buying this one off of Amazon, I think, or eBay, I can't remember which. I've bought it on Steam, I've bought it on the PS4. It's one of the only games on the PS4 that I've actually got all the trophies for. I've even got it on my bloody phone, you know. Let's have a look. Do you recognise that bit? That classic battle music. Well, it's like perilous battle music. But yeah, I've been playing that at work quite a bit and, you know, just really enjoying it. Just in like anticipation for like the remake coming out. I don't know if it's misplaced, but I have a lot of faith in Square Enix after seeing this trailer. I know they've kind of like screwed people over in the past, and you know, a lot of the Final Fantasy titles after 9 basically have not been fantastic in my opinion. You know, I think like the heyday was kind of like late 80s and 90s kind of thing. And then, yeah, after that it's been kind of like downhill, I guess. But I'm hoping, you know, with the remake, they've got a lot of people from the old Final Fantasy game on the team. Not everybody, but a lot of the original people that were involved. So yeah, hopefully they sort of like steer it in a good direction, and you know, the remake looks as good as I think we all hope it's going to be. So hopefully Square Enix are going to nail this, because you know, we are living in the age of remakes at the moment. Do you know what I mean? We've had Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, we've had Spyro the Dragon, we've got Crash Team Racing coming out. We had Resident Evil 2 as well, which was absolutely phenomenal. I think it was actually better than the original, to be honest. It was a phenomenal game. I've only completed it twice, you know, the first scenarios with Claire and Leon. But, you know, it's a brilliant game and I can't fault it. So hopefully Square are going to follow this trend and they're going to, like, you know, nail it, like, completely, like Capcom did with Resident Evil. So I live in hope, and I'm going to be positive about it, because what I've seen so far looks absolutely phenomenal. Sorry, I'm totally banging on about this, but as you can tell, I'm quite passionate about it. This is like, I've been hoping for a remake of this probably for about 15 years, something like that. So I don't know, I'm kind of excited. I bet you can't tell. They said we're going to find out more in June, so by the time I've uploaded this video, it's going to be June. So I'm guessing they're talking about E3, they're going to do like a big presentation at E3. But anyway, I've jabbered your ear off too much already, so what I'm going to do now is let you go. But if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to hit like and subscribe, or feel free to hit like and subscribe and all those cool things that you awesome guys have been doing. Sorry to talk about Final Fantasy, I know a lot of you guys aren't into it at all, you just want to see me talking about guitars and stuff, but I've just been so excited about this, I can't stop talking about it. So anyway, I shall let you go, okay? Peace.